Assalamu alaikum, how you guys doing? We're going to take a break and I want to people know I've been talking about milk, real milk versus pasteurized milk, and I have nutritionists going on almost 40 years who's Jim Marlowe, very conversant in this area. How you doing, Mr. Jim?
I'm doing very well, Eddie. Good to see you again.
Real milk.
Yes, real milk.
You know,
real milk from healthy animals.
You know, I was amazed, according to the FDA, the number one allergenic food is milk. But how can this be? We're not talking about real milk, though. This has to be that.
No, it's interesting that you bring that up. You know, when I was at Dr. Mercola's clinic, beginning in 2002, I walked into Dr. Mercola's office one day and I said, you know, Joe, I just made a connection for some raw dairy products from some healthy animals. I've been consuming it myself and it feels absolutely wonderful for me. And he wanted to try some for himself, and everybody who worked at the Optimal Wellness Center at that time, including all the people on my nutrition team, they all wanted to try it too. We all tried it ourselves. We all enjoyed it. We all felt good with it, even though a number of us had problems with pasteurized dairy products. We had no problems at all with raw dairy products from healthy animals. So Dr. Mercola supported that we start promoting raw dairy products from healthy animals to our patients, and it was a wonderful new dimension of nutrition that we were including in our recommendations to our patients. Dairy is not right for everybody. Even raw dairy from healthy animals is not a food that is going to be right or health promoting for everybody. But I would say about 90% of the people that we had worked with who had some type of problem with pasteurized dairy, they were either lactose intolerant with pasteurized dairy, or they had allergies to pasteurized dairy. When someone has a food allergy, it's because their body's immune system is responding to the milk, to the proteins in the food. About 90% of our patients who had some type of problem with pasteurized dairy, they had no problem at all with raw dairy. So why was pasteurization originally done? Well, pasteurization was originally done because of industrialization of the dairy industry, and as they had more and more cows on the dairy farm, not allowed to live the ideal healthy life for a cow, grazing on an open range, grazing on grass, out in the sunshine and the fresh air. When the dairy industry, when their individual locations got bigger and bigger and bigger, the animals' health was suffering.
And raw milk is actually illegal in 17 states. So if you're drinking raw milk, you may be a little bit of a rebel out there. I know I've been drinking it for years, and it has some amazing health benefits. But I want to talk about pasteurization first. Here's what happens in pasteurization and why pasteurized milk is so bad for you. Pasteurization, they take the milk and they heat it up to about 150 degrees, sometimes higher, and they do that for anywhere in between 30 minutes to an hour. Typically about 45 minutes they'll heat up the milk. Now, we know that heat destroys enzymes, so when you heat up raw milk, it's going to kill off most of the enzymes, and it's also going to affect and kill off most of the good bacteria that you're going to find in the milk. Now, the other thing that happens when you heat up milk like that is it actually denatures most of the amino acids and protein. It damages and kills off many of the vitamins and minerals, and even makes things like the calcium basically unusable by your body. And so really the benefits that the dairy company claims that you're getting from pasteurized milk, you're not getting any of those benefits at all. So rather than milk being good for your bones, it's actually bad for your bones. Now, here's another process that takes place typically with pasteurized milk. There's also a process known as homogenization. And in homogenization, it's actually been done to make the milk a little bit creamier. It actually helps break down the fat molecules. But what it does is it actually oxidizes the fat found in milk. Now, that process of oxidation, it actually turns that good fat in milk over into a bad fat. So it takes it from a real fat, turns it into a fake fat. And so now it's actually a hydrogenated fat. So if you're drinking milk, you might as well be drinking vegetable oil or hydrogenated oils. It is that bad for you. The other thing that happens in the pasteurization process, it changes the sugar molecule from lactose to beta lactose. So now it has a higher level on your, and it was a bigger effect on your blood sugar levels as well. So again, drinking milk today, pasteurized milk, it's like drinking straight table sugar mixed in with some hydrogenated oil. You want to stay away from pasteurized milk. Now here's how great raw milk is for you. Raw milk contains basically every amino acid, every good source of protein your body could ever need. It's loaded with good bacteria known as probiotics, which is going to help boost your immune system, help out with digestion. Raw milk has vitamin D3, and vitamin D3 has been shown to be another immune booster and also helps balance out hormones in your body. Also, raw milk has CLA, known as conjugated linoleic acid, which is the #1 weight loss supplement on the market today. CLA helps your body burn fat and lose weight. So if you're drinking some of this stuff here, some raw milk, you are boosting your nutrient levels, boosting your immune system, and also helping balance your hormones and helping your body burn fat and lose weight. What a lot of people don't realize with pasteurized milk is they'll see the vitamin and minerals on there like vitamin D, but what they've done is they've taken synthetic vitamin D2 and put that in the pasteurized milk, and actually vitamin D2 has been linked to heart disease. So if you're drinking pasteurized milk as well, increasing your risk of heart disease because of the synthetic D2. Again, you want vitamin D3, and you're going to find vitamin D3 right here in raw milk. And so here's your action step for the week. #1, if you're drinking pasteurized milk, throw it away. Get rid of it. Next step, start getting some raw milk. You can typically go to a farmer's market or go to realmilk.com. Again, realmilk.com. You can get raw cheese, raw milk, raw butter, other raw forms of dairy. But again, raw dairy has some amazing health benefits. People have been taking this stuff for 10,000 years.
If you think about it, pasteurization was available 9,000 years ago, right? You could have heated milk. It could have been done, but they didn't do it because you didn't have a system where you had to have milk that would last for days or weeks or months, you know, and you ate as fresh a food as you could, and that's how it was.
Now let me talk about another point. If you take some of these cows that don't see the light of day, they're being fed foods that they're not made to eat. You know, corn and grains, and then they get sick, and then they got to pump them on antibiotics. And if you drink that milk needs to be pasteurized, right? That'll get you sick if you drink it. But I mean, the way that God Almighty intended for these animals that are humanely treated, that are out, you know, eating what God intended them for to eat in a good, clean environment like you have here. I mean, that's the kind of the milk that's safe.
Oh, absolutely.
To drink. Can you talk about the difference?
Oh, certainly. There are so cows that are milked specifically.
These dairy cows, many of them don't see the light of day, do
right,
they?
and they never have grass, and they don't eat much forage. So a cow, if you watch these cows, if they're not eating or resting, or in this case, they're kind of excited to see people, but when they're ruminating, they're adjusting their body pH. So a cow with a good-sized cow will have like a 50-gallon rumen. So that's meant to have roughage. I mean, the whole idea is they've got a 4-chambered stomach. They're a ruminant. And so that actually buffers their system. So a cow like that has so much good bacteria on them that the bad bacteria can never get a foothold and really take over. But a cow, so we've taken cattle, and everybody's heard of mad cow disease and that sort of thing. Well, those are functions of what we feed cows. So, you know, cows or herbivores in general would never eat each other, right? There's omnivores. There are, you know, we're omnivores, but there are animals that we eat that are omnivores that would eat other meat. Cows won't do that, but we force them into that situation because of cheap nutrition. So when they render dead animals and feed them, you know, whether it's to cattle or sheep or that sort of thing, you know, you're creating a situation that's unnatural, has never occurred, you know, in 10,000 years of agriculture, and it's definitely probably, you know, never meant to happen.